A Nevada-connected defense contractor may be actively preparing to reverse engineer alien technology. While most major defense companies stay silent on UFOs, one contractor is openly positioning itself to be the first to crack non-human tech. Members of Congress are hot on the trail of UFO secrets reportedly held by the Pentagon, including allegations that alien materials are being stashed and studied by aerospace contractors. Now at least one prominent defense contractor is letting it be known that it is actively seeking government contracts. Radiance Technologies has confirmed ties to both Nellis Air Force Base, next to the legendary Area 51, and Wright-Patterson AFB, long rumored to house Roswell crash debris. The evidence: Radiance is the only major U.S. contractor that has publicly acknowledged interest in reverse engineering UAP technology. Congressional insiders have received classified briefings suggesting retrieval programs are real, and this company might be at the center of it all. The story gets more compelling when you look at who Radiance hired. In 2021, Jay Stratton, the former director of the Pentagon's UAP task force, left his government position to join this defense contractor. But he didn't come alone. Stratton brought with him Dr. Travis Taylor, the physicist who served as chief scientist for the Pentagon's UAP task force. This wasn't just speculation. The company made their intentions clear in official announcements. Think about what this means. Why would the Pentagon's top UAP investigators suddenly move to a private defense contractor? These aren't random hires. They're the exact people who had access to the government's most sensitive UAP data and analysis. And now they're working for a company that's openly discussing reverse engineering exotic technology. Though I blocked patents, what's particularly interesting is what happens when researchers try to look deeper into Radiance's work. Between 2021 and 2023, multiple Freedom of Information Act requests involving Radiance's directed energy systems were either heavily redacted or completely blocked, citing national security concerns. But what exactly does foreign materials mean in this context? Sources familiar with Stratton's former work at the Pentagon have suggested that Radiance now serves as what insiders call a reverse integration node, a term allegedly used in closed-door Senate briefings to describe contractors working with recovered non-conventional materials. The money trail is equally revealing. Radiance has secured access to billions in funding under the RS-3 contract vehicle, a Department of Defense initiative for responsive strategic technology solutions. This provides them with the financial resources to conduct highly specialized research away from public scrutiny. One project name that keeps surfacing in defense circles is Unity Matrix, a rumored DARPA line item focused on quantum non-local response testing in aerospace systems. While the exact nature of this work remains classified, the terminology suggests research into physics that defies conventional understanding. So what exactly are Travis Taylor and Jay Stratton doing at Radiance? When Taylor says they're building the capability to reverse engineer unknown materials, we need to consider what that entails. According to aerospace engineers familiar with advanced propulsion concepts, Radiance may have already modeled tic-tac-like inertial shifts in their internal simulation environments. It's crazy when you think about it. We can land rovers on Mars and detect black holes billions of light years away. But right here on Earth, many insurance companies still try to lowball people after an accident like it's the Stone Age. If you ever get seriously hurt, your case could actually be worth millions, which is why you might want a stellar legal team fighting to get you the compensation you deserve. That's why so many people check out Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. They don't settle for weak offers. Just recently they secured $12 million in Florida and $26 million in Philadelphia for injury victims, 30 to 40 times more than what insurance companies first offered. And here's the real-world physics of it. If they don't win, you don't pay. No upfront fees, no hidden charges. It's completely free unless they win your case. They've even modernized the whole process. You can submit your claim and chat with your legal team right from your smartphone. If you ever got seriously injured, your case could be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.4thepeople.com/specialize, found in the description below or by scanning the QR code on screen. Now let's get back to the video. Music. These simulations reportedly began in 2023, shortly after Taylor and Stratton were fully integrated into the company. The most intriguing reports suggest Radiance's labs have been experimenting with what they term non-Newtonian propulsion behaviors, using modified quantum vacuum variables and controlled laboratory tests. What's remarkable is that these energy levels closely match what would be required for the kinds of propulsion systems observed in UAP encounters. Is this just theoretical research, or are they working with something more tangible? But if this Nevada company is preparing for reverse engineering, where would the materials come from? Site access, Enith Tonopah, Area 51. Radiance Technologies has confirmed operational links to Nellis Air Force Base for over 20 years. This is significant because Nellis is adjacent to some of America's most secretive testing sites. Area 51 at Groom Lake, long rumored to house exotic aerospace technology, Tonopah Test Range, where next-generation high-speed craft are tested, and the Nevada National Security Site, NSS, home to classified nuclear and advanced weapons experiments. What hasn't been publicly disclosed, but multiple sources have suggested, is that Radiance signed a non-public research and development access agreement with the Nevada National Security Site in 2021, the same year Jay Stratton joined the company. This agreement would give Radiance scientists privileged access to secure testing ranges where materials of unknown origin might be stored or studied away from public view. The connection between Radiance and these secretive facilities isn't speculation. The company itself acknowledges its decades-long presence at Nellis, putting it in the perfect position to access anything recovered from the vast Nevada test ranges. And according to defense insiders, something happened at Tonopah in early 2023. 2023, Signal Event. In January 2023, something extraordinary happened at the Tonopah Test Range. According to unnamed defense journalists, the facility experienced a complete sensor blackout following contact with a high-altitude anomalous object. What makes this incident particularly interesting is what happened next. Radiance Technologies was reportedly the only private contractor granted range access in the aftermath of this event. The object allegedly triggered a full-spectrum sensor failure before vanishing from radar entirely. This type of electronic disruption has been reported in other high-profile UAP encounters, including those documented by the Navy. But the story doesn't end there. In a development that has received virtually no public attention, two subcontracted engineers who worked under Jay Stratton reportedly filed affidavits with the Senate Intelligence Committee in 2024. These Q clearance professionals, whose identities remain protected, are said to have submitted their testimonies under the protections provided by the UAP Disclosure Act, legislation specifically designed to shield whistleblowers who come forward with information about non-conventional aerospace programs. The timing of these affidavits, coming just months after the Tonopah incident and amid growing congressional interest in UAP disclosure, raises serious questions about what these engineers might have witnessed or worked on. To fully understand how Radiance Technologies has positioned itself at the center of this story, let's examine the timeline of their involvement. 2003. Radiance begins support contracts at Nellis Air Force Base, establishing their presence in Nevada adjacent to Area 51. 2010. Radiance opens their Wright-Patterson Fusion Laboratory in Dayton, Ohio, at the very base long rumored to house materials from the Roswell incident. 2017. The company gains access to the RS-3 contract vehicle, providing billions in funding for exotic technology research and development. 2021. Jay Stratton, former director of the Pentagon's UAP Task Force, leaves his government position to join Radiance. 2022. Dr. Travis Taylor, chief scientist of the UAP Task Force, follows Stratton to Radiance. The company publicly acknowledges their focus on UAP. 2023. The Tonopah Test Range experiences the mysterious sensor blackout incident. Multiple FOIA requests regarding Radiance's directed energy work are blocked or heavily redacted. 2024. Two whistleblowers with connections to Radiance reportedly provide classified testimony to Congress under new UAP disclosure protections. This progression shows a deliberate and strategic buildup of capabilities, personnel, and access, all centered around the exact locations and technologies most relevant to potential UAP reverse engineering efforts. Defense strategy implications. Radiance Technologies has strategically positioned itself with a portfolio focused on the exact technologies that would benefit from exotic breakthroughs, hypersonics, artificial intelligence, advanced sensor systems, and quantum materials research. If even partial recovery of non-conventional craft is taking place, as whistleblowers have suggested to Congress, the implications for defense technology would be profound. New propulsion methods could revolutionize how our aircraft and spacecraft move through different mediums. Materials science breakthroughs could lead to stronger, lighter, or even metamaterials with properties not found in nature. Sensor and AI advancements could dramatically enhance our detection and response capabilities. The capabilities described in verified UAP encounters, hypersonic speeds without sonic booms, instantaneous acceleration and transmedium travel, would transform military aviation if even partially understood and replicated. Radiance has the infrastructure, expertise, and clearances necessary to be at the forefront of this work. Their emphasis on directed energy and hypersonics mirrors the exact technologies that would benefit most from insights gained through studying exotic craft. Is this the company hiding alien tech? So is Radiance Technologies truly at the center of a reverse engineering program for non-human technology? The evidence we've assembled is compelling. They're in the right places: Nevada operations next to Area 51, Wright-Patterson AFB laboratories, where Roswell materials were allegedly taken, and secure test facilities across the country. They've hired the right people: Jay Stratton and Travis Taylor, the Pentagon's top UAP investigators who had access to the government's most sensitive data on these phenomena. They've stated their mission clearly: reverse engineering foreign materials, an unusually direct acknowledgement from a defense contractor about their willingness to work with exotic technology. While definitive proof remains classified, the convergence of location, personnel, capabilities, and timing points to Radiance being uniquely positioned to undertake this work. The truth may not be out there, it may already be in a lab in Las Vegas. If you found this discovery fascinating, you won't want to miss what we're dropping next week. Subscribe and turn on notifications. We'll be covering the next wave of whistleblower revelations and experimental aerospace breakthroughs. Our channel is committed to investigating the connections that others are afraid to make.